Well, yeah, no. So the conversation is, you know that one thing in Hollywood is that if you get typecasted, that's possibly like one of the worst thing that can
Yeah, because
happen.
then they box you in, and then
Right,
that's the only roles they try to give you. That's
right.
like what's his name? I can't think of it, but it'll come to my head
I can
later
name a
though.
lot of people
Yeah,
that are typecasted.
yeah,
Like,
because black actors talk about it all the time, especially if it's a black actor that does like a movie that has to do with like growing up in the hood or whatever. Because then
right,
they talk, especially if they end up doing good in the movie,
right,
then every other role that they give from there on out is some director's gonna want them to play some gangbanger
right.
growing up in
But
Chicago or South Central.
it's not even like race is one thing, and we'll talk about her Aquafina, which is her name is Katie, right? Her real name is Katie.
No, no, I think her name is Katie in the movie. Her act,
Oh,
her stage name or actor name is Aquafina.
oh, okay.
I don't know what her real name is.
I
I
think
couldn't.
that's I think that's her real name, bro.
Aquafina?
No,
No, fam.
Nora Lum, known professionally as Aquafina.
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, but race is one thing, but a typecasted. Let's say you're in like a famous show, or a movie like Taylor Lautner. He's kind of typecasted where it's like
You
people
gotta.
always view him as the wolf from Twilight, or like everybody in that movie is kind of typecasted in a way. Any movie from like any people from like a show like Friends or something, like the when there's like a famous like show or movie, you kind of get typecasted in a way where you like now that role is your role. Like you don't. It's kind of hard to branch out, and then race is definitely a thing where, especially with Asian people, like you know they're gonna be always playing the most Asian characters possible. Like it doesn't.
That's not funny,
They
but
don't.
it's
They
funny.
don't. They don't. When's the last chance you get? When's the last time you get to see like an Asian character that can just act like just a normal lad? Not lad, just a normal guy or a normal gal, or whatever
I
the case
said
might be.
normal lad. What are you, Irish?
Like, I mean, especially the one I think of is like that Crazy Stupid Rich Asian movie. That's
Hmm.
fucking super typecasted for Asian only.
But I mean, okay, so I do get that when like coming from any race, whether you're Asian, Black, Hispanic, whatever.
Right.
But my thing is, okay, so let's use crazy rich Asians for example.
Yeah.
I mean, who are they supposed to cast
No,
for the
no, no.
movie?
I'm. No, that's true. I mean, they call. I mean, the name is what it is,
Yeah,
but
same thing with like growing up in a movie about growing up in South Central.
right,
You ain't gonna fucking cast no white people. It has to be probably a black, or maybe if it's a movie about the Hispanic perspective of growing up in South Central or whatever, then
right,
it would have to be some Hispanics that, no offense, probably talk like cholos, or it has to be some black people that talk ghetto or whatever you want to call
right.
it. Like, I mean, I get what my thing is. Like, yes, it is
Oh,
bad to typecast because then you do put people into a box, but
yeah,
at the same time, what do you want production companies to do?
right,
Like we've seen the pushback when it was a movie there's a movie coming out with someone who's supposed to be playing like some chick that's supposed to be playing an Native American. Almost said called them Indians, Native American. I can't, some white
I
chick,
don't know.
Scarlett Johansson, I think, maybe
No, 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 not her, not
someone
her. That's
was doing a movie that's supposed to be or
sounds familiar.
filming or whatever. It happened a couple months ago. I remember reading about it. I can't think of what chick it was.
But anyways,
But and that was the whole thing. She got backlash because they're like, well, why don't you put somebody of like that race of color that's actually the race of whoever the main character of the movie is supposed to be, instead of casting this white chick. And
right,
so it's like, but then if they find someone of color and then that person does good in a role and then people try to give them similar roles, then this is the pushback. So I mean, it's
yeah,
kind of, I agree with like obviously the actors with the typecasting. Yeah, you don't want to put them in a box, but it is hard for like the directors and the production companies and the writers. Who's like, what do you want them?
right.
There's only so much they can really do.
Well, in this case for Aquafina, which is Nora, I think the cancellation that kind of occurs, like I think when she came out, she's kind of saying that she's sick and tired of doing like the Asian accents and whatever the case might be. and people were trying to come for her because they were like, "Yo, you don't want to do your own fucking race accent or whatever the case might be, but you're out here like just openly like doing the black accent, which is a black accent."
And then so
and they're like, yo, like we're not gonna fucking watch the movie because you're just a hypocrite because like you're doing the black accent. So it's like now it's like a whole cultural appropriation thing that's like tagging on to her. And
so let's hold on. Let me just stop you. Let's break it down.
Okay.
So who's saying this first off? Is it black people saying this?
No. It's just a bunch of fucking Twitter trying to like bring this issue upon her.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is this black people on social media saying this?
It looks like a bunch of liberal cucks.
I would hope that is. I'm not sure if that. Anyway, I would hope that is black people. Because if it's not,
I don't think black people were saying.
If it's not black people who complain, then it sounds racist. Why are you saying that she talks black? You just assume that all black people talk like that?
Right.
One, that's one. Two, if it is black people saying it, why are you saying that? Because now you're stereotyping your own kind, saying that that's just how we talk. That's not how we all talk.
That's true.
I mean, I know how Awkwafina talks. I've seen like maybe her like a cameo of her on a TV show or something. So I get what people says like the accent, but like you said, she grew up in Queens, New York.
Right. So
she probably grew up around nothing but a lot of black people from the hood that talk with slang and stuff. So no matter if you're Asian, white, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Chinese, Vietnamese, like Indian, it don't even matter. If you grow up around nothing but people talking with slang, saying yo and my brother and word to mother and all that,
right.
That's what you're gonna be saying.
Yeah, that's why I don't get the cancellation thing coming from. Like, I don't even have social media now, but I was reading on New York Time, preparing for the podcast, just coming up with topics and stuff like that. I was like, what the fuck is happening? And I'm like, and then somebody's like, yo, like, she's from Queens, New York. Like, of course she just talks like, she's from Queens, New York, and Queens, New York is a lot of more African American there. It's like same thing as me growing up in like Lawndale and Hawthorne. I can kind of relate to it in the sense where it's like maybe my tone is a little different. Like, it's not gonna be like I'm not trying to like force myself to speak like I'm a part of the African American community, but it's
you're around that a lot.
I've been influenced by it for sure. So,
that's still the same thing. Like, if you move to Ireland and you live there for about 10 years, eventually
I'm gonna sound like it.
You're gonna start saying shivery timbers and a pot of gold and a lucky the Irish and all that.
Right.
Like, you might not say it with the with the actual accent, but you get what I'm saying. Like, if you move to Australia, you could be talking about shrimp on the barbie and all that. Right. Like, it's just the accent is just gonna. Even if you can move to South Carolina, you probably
I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna start developing
talking
that
southern drawl. Yeah,
right.
Talking like.
So that's why I think the whole cancellation thing is so toxic, because they're just assuming like she's doing the black accent just to try to like be bloom the black accent as quote unquote cultural appropriation, but like not knowing that she grew up in the Bronx and that she grew up in an area where she got her.
Yeah, well, let's.
Can you open the door for a motherfucker real quick?
Go, finish what you was gonna say. I'll come back.
Yeah, no. So I saw the thing, and then when I found out she was from New York and Bronx, New York, I was like, well, it totally makes sense as to why she speaks like this. I don't think she's trying to put on a front and trying to do the whole accent like purposefully, but it's just something that she grew up. And then now with the whole Asian accent thing, when she's not trying to get typecasted, she just want a regular role that doesn't involve her being like an actual person when she's playing the role. I get it, because she's been in a few movies now, so you can kind of get over the fact that you're playing the Asian role all the damn time.
Yeah, but okay, so let me push back for you real quick. So let me play devil's advocate, because I could really care less about how she talks or the black center, that
whatever.
Me
either. I'm just saying, anyway, why do people care so much?
So I'm reading this article. So it's saying like, so even in supposedly in because I think Awkwafina, she started off on YouTube, if I'm correct. Like, she used to be doing like YouTube rap shit. Like,
she's supposedly like a comedian.
Yeah. But she like because she talks with the black accent or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
That was so when she was first coming up, that was like the one little problematic thing. Then in Crazy Rich Asians, I guess part of her role in there, she kind of was talking with a black accent or whatever. So
you can say.
So I could see. I mean, it's a pattern of her talking with the black accent or whatever. I could see, but I don't see how that's. I mean, unless she out here, like saying problematic stuff, then
Right.
I don't really see how it's a big deal.
I don't see it either. That's why I'm like, why are people like? See, that's the thing about social media is the reason why I fucking delete it. It's so fucking toxic because everybody has opinion about everything that most of the time their opinion are coming at it the wrong way. Like you don't know the girl, you don't know that she grew up in Bronx. That's why she fucking has a black scent. Like
Yeah,
don't give her shit for
yeah,
speaking with a black accent when she grew up in a fucking town and a place that is heavily influenced by the hip hop community and African American. Like
yeah.
it totally makes sense why. And so it makes no sense. Like it's not me here trying to defend another Asian person. I can care less. But it's just me seeing
Nah,
like
defend your people.
nah, I don't care for that. I don't really like
Oh,
defending my people anyways. But it's just weird that like that happened to be on like the New York Post or something like that. That like now now that I don't have social media, I'm just purely reading news and articles, and the fact that I'm reading article about a cancellation,
yeah, but
it's
that's why I
it's just
personally,
frustrating to me.
I personally don't even